Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Waldport Weekly. We're diving headfirst into another week brimming with the extraordinary at the intersection of science, politics, and the ever-evolving landscape of pop culture.
That's right, Levi. From the trends lighting up our careers to the mind-bending breakthroughs shaking up the scientific community, there's never a dull moment. Welcome back to Waldport Weekly. First up in our headlines, the cinematic event everyone's been talking about is finally here, the Minecraft movie. And folks, it's not just opening big, it's absolutely dominating the box office.
It seems Disney's long quest to conquer the live-action realm has been unexpectedly thwarted by a legion of pixelated blocks. Sources indicate that the Minecraft adaptation has not only topped the charts, but has significantly outperformed the Mouse House's latest release.
Everyone knows about the Minecraft movie, and everyone knows about the live-action remake of Snow White that came out 2 weeks before. Despite controversy over both films before release, people were hyped for both. I'm sure you didn't know that the Minecraft movie's box office outsold Snow White's 4 times over in its first week of release, with a whopping $815,952,000 worldwide, compared to Snow White's $195,242,390. Because of this, Disney has put a halt on their live-action remake of Tangled, presumed to have been worked on since December of 2024. Boris Kitt and Mia Gallupo, film writers, had this to say. Tangled, Disney's live-action reimagining of its 2010 animated film focused on the brothers' grim fairy tale heroine, has been put on a pause according to studio insiders. The project had been in active development with The Greatest Showman Helmer Michael Gracie on board to direct, and a script by Jennifer Caton Robinson, who did Love and Thunder. I wonder how Disney's approach to their live-action remakes will differ. Now, back to the anchors.
While critics are offering a range of perspectives, the core fanbase is erupting with enthusiasm, seemingly savoring every blocky moment on the big screen.
Meanwhile, shifting gears to the tech world, Nintendo has officially dropped the news that gamers have been eagerly anticipating: the arrival of the Switch 2. Ami Kildup has more.
Earlier this month, Nintendo revealed new information about their upcoming console, the Nintendo Switch 2. Several new features and games were shown, including, but not limited to, Mario Kart World, a new game in the classic racing franchise, Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, a hack-and-slash adventure set in the world of Legend of Zelda, and Kirby Air Riders, a spin-off of the Kirby series. Another feature of the Switch 2 is Game Chat. This seems to function similarly to the Discord app. The console is supposed to release early this June and will start at $450. There are several debates online as to whether the console is really worth this price, as the first-party games are rumored to be sold for $70 or $80, with one student saying here it will ruin the gaming industry. However, others are saying that the raised price is worth it for better games. That's all from me. Back to you.
If the whispers from the digital grapevine are true, we can expect enhanced graphics, a smoother gaming experience, and the feature many have been clamoring for: backward compatibility. Gamers, it looks like it's time to prepare for the next level.
Speaking of preparing for the unexpected, Erin, have you caught wind of the woolly mice?
I have, Levi, and it sounds like something straight out of a science fiction flick. These aren't your average house mice. They're real, they're incredibly fluffy, and they're the fascinating result of cutting-edge gene editing.
The innovative minds over at Colossal Biosciences, the same folks with their sights set on resurrecting the woolly mammoth, are behind this development, and by all accounts, their groundbreaking work in genetic revival shows no signs of slowing down. Evan Umbright took a deeper dive into this topic.
Researchers at Colossal Biosciences have produced woolly mice by adding genes associated with cold hardiness and dense coats, which are traits that were previously found in woolly mammoths. Using CRISPR, 7 genes were modified in laboratory mice, giving them longer, more curled hair and cold weather metabolic adaptations. This goal is not to resurrect mammoths themselves, but to test and refine genetic changes that would then be added to Asian elephants, the closest living relatives of the mammoths. This proof-of-concept effort is one of Colossal's larger goals, de-extinction of the woolly mammoth to revive Arctic habitats. Skeptics warn of moral and environmental risks of releasing designed species. Others argue that it could combat global warming by reanimating grasslands of permafrost. Even though the woolly mice will not be embarking into the wild, they are a vital step towards synthetic resurrection in an era when ancient traits are brought back through modern science. Hendrik Poinar, an evolutionary biologist, had this to say on the potential ecological benefits of reviving mammoths. If we brought back the mammoths to Siberia, maybe that would be good for the ecosystems that are changing because of climate change. Exciting times we live in, and with that, back to you, anchors.
Now, we're certainly not advocating for a Jurassic Park-style menagerie of genetically revived creatures roaming the planet, but the possibilities are certainly intriguing.
Turning now to the political arena, a familiar figure once again making headlines with the announcement of what's being called the Department of Faith. Aaron, this development raises some significant questions about the separation of church and state. What are your thoughts on the potential merging of governmental and religious spheres?
You know, I think I might just stick to the fluffy mice and latest gaming consoles with this one.
A wise choice indeed. Perhaps a safer bet in these evolving times.
On February 6th of this year, Donald Trump signed an executive order to establish the White House Faith Office. According to the official White House fact sheet, the Faith Office will empower faith-based entities as well as enforce federal and statutory protections for religious liberty. Donald Trump appointed Paula White, a known preacher who televises her religious teachings and solicits donations from her viewers. This practice is known as televangelism. The creation of this department is very controversial. The controversy stems from the separation of church and state, the process of which started in the early 1800s. There's a lot of discourse circulating about our new religious branch of government. The reasoning as to why is because many citizens feel that the department is a contradiction to our First Amendment, in which it states, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. As adolescents in our society, things can be really stressful right now due to the harsh political climate and the varying opinions we see online every day, along with the false information being spread. We urge you to stay informed about what's going on in our country and do your best to do your research. Always remember, just because you hear something doesn't make it true.
A big thank you to Tony Reed for that inside look. That's all the news we have for you this week on Waldport Weekly.